Welcome back, guys, to another presentation up to the time, presenting true shapes. We'll be looking at true shapes for the second time. The first time I explored this topic, I studied a pentagonal prism. Now today I'll be studying a pyramid, a truncated cone to be exact. So let's first look at this image. This is what we'll be studying today. And let's just annotate and see what's going on here so that we can understand this. So the first thing you recognize is that this is drawn in third angle projection. How do we know that? Because we observe the symbols up here. And we're always looking for this round circle, these two round circles, and wherever that is, that's the plan. And as we know, when we look at the ordering of where the plan is, the plan comes second. So that means that this is in third angle projection. Why? Because the plan is read down here. Right. Now, so that we know where our views are, we know that down here is the plan. Okay, right down here. We know that this elevation looking is our front elevation, and this elevation is our side elevation. And finally, our finished product should be this true shape right here, this cut. Okay. What else do we know about this drawing that we need to observe before we move from here? Well, we know that the size of the circle is 50 millimeters diameter, and this is very important. So please observe this symbol here. This is the diameter symbol. We also know that the height of this pyramid is 70 millimeters. And we also know that this cut is offset at some distance of 10 millimeters. And the cut comes in right here. And that comes in at 30 degrees. Yes, you can just observe that there. That's 30 degrees. So that's that. So that's a chunk of information that we have here. And I think we can proceed with that. But I'll just give you guys a quick idea of how this is going to look. I've created a SketchUp model here, right here, as you can see. I have two models displayed. The first model, the shape hasn't been cut, the truncation has been marked off, and the area that's going to be removed is in glass, and we can see the true shape right here highlighted in red. All right, so that's the model there. When we look at it from the side, that's how the side view will look. If we look at it from another angle, another side angle, that's what we'll see. And then if we go over to the plan will look something like this. Yeah. So that's it. That's what our truncated cone will look like. Anyway, now let's shut that off and start to draw this in AutoCAD. Now, so first thing, I'm going to make sure I'm on my construction there, and then I'm going to start this. I'm going to draw my x-axis, and I'm also going to draw a frame. Everything is going to be in, and I'm also going to set up my information line, which comes in at 315 degrees. Right down here. Okay, I think everything should be able to fit there. So let's start. First thing, I'm going to offset 10 millimeters up from this line. That's where my baseline would be, and I am going to start drawing. I'm going to go up 70, offset 70 from my baseline. That will give me the height of my pyramid, and I'm going to assume this is my center. Start that. Let's call that my center. Transfer that into the center there. And from here, what can I do from here? Well, I'm going to project my circle. See for circle, I'm going to draw my circle here. The diameter is 50. That means the radius is 25. I've drawn my circle there. Now let me put it into position. All right. My circle there. let me establish my center line. Just pull this out. So I have my vertical center line and my horizontal center line. I'm just going to transfer these into the center layer by using the command match drop. Right. So those, we can just do that, making it look uniform. Cool. Now we're going to project lines up. Right, that's the shape. It's the overall cone there, the overall cone shape. And oh, this whole thing needs to move, seeing based off of where I set up my center line. So let me just do that now. Offset this 10. Okay, and then I'm going to move this whole thing M to move. Bring that back to here. Cool. Move that line. Good. Now let's continue drawing this. Let's find out where this cut goes. So we need to offset 10 millimeters up from this baseline. Hope you guys can see this is the baseline. Offset 10. Yep, this is where our cone, our cut will start. And from here, I'm going to cast my 30 degrees. So I'm going to draw a line, alpha line, then hold down shift, less than symbol, 30. It's my 30 degrees. That's it. That's in there. Cool. I can remove this line, but that was just a reference, and I can trim this now. Cool. So that's pretty much done. Let me go over here and create the secondary drawing. Now what we can do is, yeah, I'm going to do it this way. So these things, see for circle, pull the line to there, then pull the line up to here. All right, let me just trim here or fillet. Okay. Saw something I did that I'm going to correct. I'm going to offset this down 10 and then move everything. Move it down to here. Cool. Good. So that needs to move down to there and then to there. All right, pretty good. So I can just fillet, move this down from there to there. Right. Okay, so I'm going to put my frame lines white because I think that's always confusing me. Now, just put those on the white layer because I never use white. All right, this needs to be back up there. All right. Okay, good. All right. This now starts to read properly, so I can fillet that. All right. Good. So now I can then set my center line up here to the information line. I'll call it up as a center line, MA. Go there. All right, fillet. Good. Connect this from here to there, and then back down. All right, so we got generally the rough idea of how the shape is going to look. Now we got to determine what happens inside the shape, where this cut is. So we're going to be focusing on this cut right here. What do I need to do at this next stage? Well, I'm going to transfer some things over into outline. This is an outline, this is an outline, and this is an outline. So transfer from construction over to outline. I'm going to make this an outline also. Good. I'm going to put a break here. Okay, cool. That looks good. Now, what next do we do? We need to divide this circle into 12 pieces. So I'm going to divide this circle. Div is the command. Select the object first. Div. Enter 12. 12 pieces there. And then what am I going to do with these 12 divisions? Well, I'm going to connect them to this line up here. Yeah. Okay, so we don't need that. Interesting. Some of our pieces over here wouldn't even be used in this division. So let's see which ones are going to be used. So this one is going to be used, that's going to be used, that, and that. Those 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 are going to be used there. However, this one isn't going to be used, as you can see. Yeah. Alright, so let's use what we have. Project that over, project that over, project that over. Alright, and then the middle line. Oh yes. Let's transfer the middle line over here. So what's the next step? What's the next step? Well, we need to figure out this side elevation. We need to resolve here. So in order for us to resolve here, we need to project these over to here. Project these over to here. Project these over to here. And then send these up. Feel as though something is missing, but let's see. If I project these over to here. Okay. So let's trim this and see how this works out. That's what we need to do. We need to project these up. Okay. Now we've done that. Does this make it easier? I don't know. Well, yes, it does. This makes everything a lot easier because this isn't there. That isn't there. That isn't there. Like that. Like that. You're going to take all the measurements from these intersections here. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 points there that we're going to work with. So let me just remove these ones here. This is going to confuse me. 6 points here that we're going to work with. All right, how do we get these? We project this line and we pull points from off the circle, basically. Yeah. Okay, that's a point. That means that line comes down also. All right. So what I'm going to do is just clean these up so that we can understand how the construction goes. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Let me just trim this because we don't need this line in here. This will confuse me. Yep, that will confuse me. Okay, I see why that line was there, because they were sharing the same spot. All right. Now, what do I need to do? I need to send these here and then project these down. So that should be fairly easy. all things being simple. Okay, so that's gone. All right. Oh. Just project this. Close here. Check that across there. Check that across. There and over here. Cool. What am I doing now? I'm setting out the lines on the circles so that I can get these divisions on the circle in elevation. Right. So send them up to this point, send it to this point at the 90 degrees. Okay, then when I get here, this is what I do now. And everything will make sense within these diagonal lines. Okay, the diagonal lines are in. That looks good. Now let's plot this circle over here. Trim. And I usually have a rough idea of where my circle starts. So let me just go now to a different layer so you guys can see. Text there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can even mirror there, but I'll just continue going, stamping it in. Alright, so that's where my circle is. Let me jump back on over now to outline there and put a spline. SPL shortcut for this command. Let me just go here and go right around and create my, it's not really a circle, it's an oval when you look at it from this side. See, enter, that closes. Alright, so that's in. Phew. Alright, let's just trim here. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer the construction lines coming off of the cut. So the construction lines on the circle, I'm going to keep yellow. And all the construction lines that come off the cut, I'm going to change into gray, which is my hatch layer, but I'll just be using that temporary. Alright, so these are them here, and these will be them here too. Alright, so just put these into hatch layer. Cool. So you know these are lines that come straight off of, you know, off the circle. So what am I going to do now? So let's bring down these lines from these points here now, right? Alpha line down to here, and then project across. Then project across. It's a very tedious process. So I don't lose anyone here. It's one of those things. Bear with me. Project these across there. So let me just transfer these over now over to my hatch layer. All right. More to come. More more to come. Let's copy this. Okay, cool. Right, this part can be slightly confusing, especially if you are not labeling. And I am doing this without labeling purposely. I've done many of these before with labels. I find generally it takes up a lot of time when you label. After a while, you should be able to know where you're going. And if you're going to have to label all the time to figure this out, then that means you're not seeing the patterns and you're not picking up quickly. But if you need to label to solve this, go ahead. In the early stages, when I make these demonstrations, I usually label. I've done one of these demonstrations before, a similar one of label. So decided this time, you know, just do it without labeling, see how it goes. Okay. All right. I think I have all of my lines down that I need. Let me just check here. Nope, I got one missing. Very important. Point missing. Yep, I got everything. So now that I have everything in place down here, what I can do is turn off my construction layer, and I would just be on my hatch layer and my outline layer. I am going to go over to my text layer and start inserting these points. So I know this is a point here, but this is the furthest point. So I always work like this. These are my two boundaries. That's a boundary right there, that's a boundary down there. And everything else we got to fill in. Because I know we can't go past this point, you know we can't go past this point. You know you can't go past this point in terms of height, and I can't go past this point in terms of at the bottom. Actually, no. I forgot one. I forgot this one. So let me just draw that down here. And it's a good thing by working this way, you get to check. Well, it forces you to check. You always check to make sure that everything is in position. That's the good thing about these construction lines. Some people say, well, that's the good thing about labeling. But if you're in tune with the drawing, you really don't have to label. You don't have to label these points. Labeling is just when you're starting out. Okay, so it's there. It's there. This one, that one, right? That one, that one. I guess it's about understanding the patterns too. Yeah, it's about understanding your patterns, understanding which ones were used and which weren't used. And these two line up to the dirt, these two line up to the dirt, this lines up, like that, this lines up, and this one here. Okay, good. So I'm convinced that's it. Let me know, but let's give this a second shot. Let's go clockwise. Okay, that's the shape it gives me. I don't know why I get that shape. Oops, yep, I think I know. It's supposed to go there. Yeah. So that goes there, there, there. That means this is that one. Yeah. So this thing would be there, this would be there. Right. Figured it out. Okay. Let's move on now to the last drawing, which is the true shape. So I'm going to offset this line here. I'm going to offset this 120. Give myself good space. Boom. Here. And now I'm going to project lines up to that point. That's going to be called my X and Y prime line, by the way. And I think that's a perpendicular edge. Let me just prove it by projecting the center line up until I can see my perpendicular symbol. Yep, it's perpendicular. Now I can come here and copy all these lines over. Let's start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, I'm going to put these lines into our hatch layer for now. I just use the hatch layer as a secondary construction layer, that's all. Let's move. Oh yeah, so now I need to come down here and measure these distances to plot. Let me just extend this line here. Fill it, that, fill it, that, remove. Remove, I want that line to be white. Yeah, that's frame. Right. All right, now it's time to measure. So I'm going to go over to my dimension layer and I'm going to be measuring my points off the circle. M, let's measure the first one. Down, first 18, second spot, something like 19, third distance, 22, fourth distance away from the X and Y line, 25, fifth distance, 28, halfway point, 35, let's move, 42, this point here doesn't connect to anything, interesting, no line on that, so skip that, 48, 51, it's probably 52. Yeah, 52. I was right. Cool. All right, so these are a bunch of numbers we got to work with. I'm going to stay right here and offset. Offset. The first number is 18, 18, 19, 22, 25, 28, 35, 42, 48, 51, 52. So again, transfer these over to that layer, and we got our grid set it here now to work out our X and Y prime. Sorry, to work out our true shape on the X and Y prime line. Okay, so let's proceed. First thing, let me identify my center line. I always need the center to start this. And this is another center here. So I'm going to identify that as a center. All right. So now let's get this thing started. I'm using the dimension layer. It's probably better, so we can identify where the points are. So I know my, this is how I start off with. So I know my boundaries and I locate them by using my centers. Now I'm going to step out and let's see what happens here. Taking clues from down here. How do we step out? We step out one up. Alright. It's going to be tricky, but we'll try to get it. Okay. All right, I think I got it. And what I'm going to do is mirror this. Yeah, man. Mirrored it along this axis here, this point. And yep, woo, do you want the erasers of it? No. So I got everything in. I think I mirrored this twice, so just delete that. I think I mirrored that twice, so just delete that. Yep. This also coming twice. Yep. I think this came in twice. Yep. So I got my shape here. Sorry, my points. So I'm going to create my shape now. SPL. And again, this is a quick tutorial. Okay, that's finished. Let's put that into the correct layer. Match drop. Cool. Good enough. So let's just put some titles onto here. And that's plan. Put that in the center. And put that in the correct layer. So it's the layer that needs to go in text. And what I normally do is I just normally drag the titles around. Cool. So let's change this. And that needs to say front elevation. And that over here would be our true shape. Just put the title here. It's called true shape of section ellipse. All right. Let me go through shape of section. It's an ellipse for this one, this particular one. ELLIPSE, ellipse. Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to turn off the layers and then hatch everything. So I'm going to turn it on. Okay, should give me a proper hatch now. Yeah, because you got to know how to solve these little things. So what's the difference? What am I doing different now this time? I really don't know. All I can say is that you have to have patience with this program. Over the years, I've recognized that. Yeah. Gets you through. And you might drop this to there, over to there, to there. All right. And then lastly, let me turn on my hatch layer because I really want to get this over into. All right. Let me turn it on. Turn it on. So the problem is being solved. It's just that I'm transferring my layers over now into, or my lines over into the proper layers. because I'm finished. I no longer need them to be on the hatch layer, because they can't confuse me at this stage any longer. The problem has been solved, and it's time to put these in the rightful layers. So I'm going to do that and put them into construction layer. Yeah, I know, construction layers, close. Okay, I missed out these, just selecting. I'm just going to transfer these into construction. Yeah, yes, I know. That noise just tells me that I'm trying to send things over into a layer that's closed or that's turned off. So this is the final solution, where we've gotten all three views: the plan, the front elevation, side elevation, and we have produced the true shape. So I'm going to turn back on the layers now. Let's turn back on the text layer. We can see the text there. Let me just maximize text. What comes next? Constructions. Whoa, that's why we keep the constructions off, because constructions can get very confusing. So I'm going to turn them off and just leave it like this right now. So this brings us to the end of this drawing. Let's look back at the SketchUp model, and we can see it from these different angles. All right, this view is the front elevation. Let me just draw my arrow. It's right here. The front elevation. That's that view. Let me go to another view now. And this is the side elevation here. Let me grab my arrow. Side elevation right there. Okay. And lastly, let's go over to the plan and see how the plan looks. And this is my plan here, which is represented here. And the shape that we would swear the true shape of the cut is a circle from just looking at this red shape, but it is not actually. And I turn back on my and I turn it like this, you're able to see the shape. An ellipse construction. So one thing we learned today, if we truncated a cone, the true shape we will get from that is an ellipse construction. So this brings us to the end of another demonstration, guys. I hope you guys learned something new. If so, please like and share the video and subscribe to the channel. For right now, we are out.